Did we ruin our own image? Did we give them that leeway? I'll start off with Bueller and we'll take it back again. Did we ruin our own image and give them the tools to portray us in this manner?
Yeah, big time. The dirt is always going to be on display, right?
Right.
But the fact that we're closed off to every other race and like non-inclusive leaves too much room for interpretation for everyone else. So then they're going to start forming their own ideas because they're not in the inner circle, because they're not there to absorb and find out the little nuances about us.
They say that in the movie too. Smaller community is hard to get into.
Yeah, so because we block ourselves out from everyone, they're going to be having probably an outside view. And, no matter how much research they do from the outside view, you're only going to get, something that's surface level. And it'll never be, layered. It'll never be art. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'll always be, painting in a certain light. There's always going to be an agenda against us. Right. You know what I mean? We're going to be the butt of the joke a lot of the time. That's because we close ourselves off. Yes.
ATL.
Like I said before, it's self-inflicted, but once again, it's also a phase. We, it's kind of respectful in a weird way, in like a twisted way.
Like they want to know.
It's because Jamaicans made a splash in the water, and everybody started speaking patois, wagwan. Everybody, absorbed their culture in a sense, and
that is very true. In Toronto, you'll find Somali. Oh, London, you'll feel Somalis. You'll find Filipino dude. Legit, like that is. And I understand there's a lot of people that grew up in Jamaica and that are not they're not necessarily maybe black Chinese. There's many Chinese that live in Jamaica. I get it, but there's a lot of people that are like, "What had that came out to Somali?" Like you literally speak patois. How did this happen?
Yeah. So in a twisted way, it's kind of like in a weird way, it's kind of respectful because they made a splash. They had their ups and downs. They had in a sense, so if you look at the way they went up and down, it's exactly the same as where we're going right now. So they were disrespected. I'm sure there's a lot of shows about them, a lot of negativities about them, and then they formed a community. And now I dare you to make a documentary about a Jamaican anything. It won't happen. They'll attack you. They'll cut your head off.
Yeah.
So right now we're on the
community strong.
Yeah. Right now our community, people want to know about us. I hear 17-year-old kids, black like light skinned niggas just say wallahi.
No, they don't.
Wakawali. Speaking Somali, Somali words. Yo, she has a big photo fam. They're speaking Somali.
No, that is true.
So,
Auto too. You have an Asian guy
speaking. That's how dudes hit on Somali girls, by the way. Like, legit, I'll be walking down the street, but like, nah, yeah, kale, and I look back and it's a Chinese guy, and I'm like,
Shuk. Hey, please make me some food. Inshallah. Oh, you please, I'm really hungry. Fadumo, I'll call you later, okay?
oh, okay, I'm just gonna walk away. But it's becoming more and more infused.
So I think it's bad now, but we have a big audience. So if we handle this properly, then this will become.
Yeah, piggybacking off of what ATL said. So if Sally from Saskatoon wakes up one morning and we ask her, we're like, "Yo, have you ever heard of Somalis?" Isn't it a negative impact by her saying, "Yeah, of course I did"? Oh, let me tell you something. I know everything. I watched Captain Phillips. I watched Shoot the Messenger. I've watched, whatever other show. Block Hawk Down. That's all she knows. Sally from Saskatoon now has this image of what Somalis are based on these shows.
But again and again, let me jump in. Again and again, I think it's the absence of our creativity. If we were creative enough and we were producing movies and we were producing shows, none of this would have happened.
Our own narrative.
I mean? Yeah. We would have been telling our own narrative rather than people telling. I mean, there's a saying being a father, right? If I do not put time and effort in my child's life, right, someone else will. The drug dealer from next door will put time and energy and effort in my son.
Yeah.
And basically that's how he's going to manipulate. So I don't even know why we're ala'al. We need to stop ala'al.
Yeah. Okay, so
no need for that.
So speaking of narrative, you really touched on narrative over and over and over. Our own content, taking responsibility, putting ourselves out there. Let me ask you all the same question.
Go.
Okay. Shoot the Messenger versus Mogadishu, Minnesota. Okay? Shoot the Messenger, CBC, we reviewed it. Kanan is going to be having an HBO series, a show that's called Mogadishu, Minnesota. One was protested, one wasn't. Shoot the Messenger, as you could see, there's so many things that it's lacking. Mogadishu, Minnesota hasn't even come out, and there was all hell that broke loose. So I'm going to ask, and I'm going to start off with you, Abdifatah, and then we'll take it over to this side.
Yeah.
Why is it that our people, the Somali people, protested one? But by the way, let's also, facts are facts. Canaan has never shat on us. He's never done us wrong in the past. He's waved our flag. He does international humanitarian work. Just friggin' Google him. A simple Google search, you'll find out everything that he's done. But yet we went hard on him. We, from Twitter to people that are in Minneapolis.
If we don't get it, shut it down! If we don't get it, shut it down! If we don't get it,
ain't no money can buy us. This is the neighborhood we live in.
Why is it that we protested him, but we don't did we make a mistake in Toronto? Did we make a mistake by not protesting Shoot the Messenger? Take it away.
You said Canaan. I love Canaan. I'm not gonna deny it. That's my boy. It really hurts me to really people not understanding. Canaan. He's an entertainer. And Canaan, if he's trying to deal with HBO, and Canaan's getting millions, I want Canaan to get billions of dollars. I want him to sign that. I want any Somali. I would be happy for any Somali doing big. And we should understand that. Canaan, to my knowledge, for the past 20 years, I do not know any Somali on earth that defended Somali's honor more than Canaan. People that, protesting and hating on Canaan, something's wrong with them. I think they need to understand that Canaan had never let Somalis down. And it's just entertainment what he's doing. And supposedly, if it's about, I don't know what it is, I really don't know, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, well, hasn't even come out yet.
Yeah, but if it's something about radicalization or whatever it is, the community in Minnesota, are we fucking denying that some of our young men didn't end up in fucking fighting for ISIS motherfuckers?
Nobody wants to dirty laundry aired out.
Okay, so let me ask you, why is it casting again? The casting for Shoot the Messenger, you saw it, right? Mogadishu boys. Not majority of them are not even Somali. Then you got the Mogadishu, Minnesota. The casting list just got released. Again, not a lot of Somalis, right? Why is it that we can't why is it, because we went to the casting, by the way, I just want to let you guys know, for the Canaan HBO, we auditioned, myself and Bueller, and Muhammad, the creator of Sheeko Sheeko that's behind me.
It was good fun.
It was really fun. We didn't get chosen. I could have been famous, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? I'll get my chance. I am famous. I'm going to be the next Jennifer Lawrence, all right? That being said, how come is it that we're not coming out? I'll be honest, when we went to the casting show, not a lot of people were there. We went for 2 days, and not a lot, in total, we're looking at 50 people, right? But is it because we're not showing up to represent ourselves?
I think that's a big part of the reason. First and foremost, CBC made this. HBO struck a deal with that. There was one protested, one not. I think it just goes back to narrative. I felt a lot of Somalis felt that Canaan is Somali. He should show the positive side, but I mean, it is what it is. That show, I felt like that show was gonna fly regardless, whether he was on it or on board or not. That show was gonna be made. So the fact that he sort of got his creative licensing on that, got his hands on that, I felt that was great for him.
Right.
Somalis, I feel like they need to be a bit more involved, especially when it comes. I feel like we are not actually taking into our hands our own image and trying to show the world, okay, this is what we are, and we are not invested in that. Right. And when it comes to stuff like shows or castings and whatnot, to be honest, a lot of our youth just don't care. Most of us are, and I feel like it's sort of the youth's fault, but I just feel like it's this environment, the society we're in. A lot of the youth are just pushed to survive.
Right.
Their parents are struggling. They're told, yo, go to school, get an education,
Right.
do this, do that.
So we're asleep until
So
it
we're-
actually
we're-
comes out, and then we're like, ah, my
And we're
God,
just-
what the hell? Da, 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 da.
And we're just blindsided.
Yeah.
by it.
Angel,
And-
would you have protested? Like, if you knew, like, well, first of all, you're
For
not
this
even
one?
against it. Yeah, you're not
Messenger?
even. Yeah, you're not.
I'll wait.
Let's just say if it was completely like shitting
Well,
on us,
let me say this. I wouldn't have protested.
you wouldn't have.
But people who protested, I wouldn't have looked at them sideways. I would have understood where they were coming from.
Why wouldn't you have protested? You just lazy? Are you asleep
No,
too?
that's part of the reason. But also, I just feel like we needed it.
You okay? Because you're
And I
for.
also feel like people are gonna say this is not good. I feel like there's no such thing as bad publicity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get to a point where you can wield it yourself,
We
right?
can, like
as
if we
a
get so
community.
big, it's gonna get to the point where people are gonna come ask us like, "Hey, if this is not how you are, then how are you?"
Okay.
So then again, I just really feel like it's all a phase, and we're
Okay.
eventually we're gonna.
You're gonna.
Let me play the devil advocate. I mean, like I've seen a lot of shows and movies that's been made about white people and being child molesters. Does that mean all white people like
Are child molesters? No,
Does
you're
that
right.
mean white people should be offended?
Yeah.
It happens.
The Catholic religion,
Yeah.
everything. A lot of it for years, it was always associated with.
it's entertainment purpose.
Yeah.
And people need to understand that.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly, like shoot the messenger, it says it's a fiction. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like whether they get it right or not, it's debatable.
Yeah.
But in reality, the fact of the matter is, these guys are doing it for purpose.
Yeah. Bueller, what? Sir, go ahead.
Yeah, so I was gonna say for when you asked like why would they protest when Kenan does it and when Adam people do it they won't. I think it's because familiarity breeds contempt. So when you know, like Kenan and Garana are Somali, so the second you have that, because he's like a brother, he treats everybody like family kind of thing, right? So familiarity breeds contempt. You know the guy. You know what I mean? Then you get this. That's the thing about Somalis. You get this chip on your shoulder. You already know the guy, top to bottom. You know his agenda. You know everything. When he's giving you no hints of anything else, and then you're gonna shit on him.
Actually,
But it would be
speaking.
nice though. I mean, Bueller, it would be nice to sit with him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like hear his point of view.
Yeah.
I mean, he was not even given that.
Yeah.
Look at the stupidity.
Right.
It's purely stupidity.
They gave him that, and then they didn't show up to talk to him.
Yeah.
So why not sit with the brother? I mean, like he's been waving Somali flag. He's been,
Didn't he offer them to read
doing
the script?
everything.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
It's debatable. He says that he spent 3 days speaking with the protesters. They say that they didn't get the right information. But piggybacking off of what you said, okay, so I was listening to a podcast, and Charlemagne the G. I refuse to
love
call
him
him.
so much.
Yeah, he's. I refuse to call him God, but Charlemagne. So he said that a lot of rappers tell him now that that they're no longer hiring like big black bodyguards, right? He said that they don't hire big black bodyguards, and this bodyguard was telling him, "Yo, we're losing business. Like the rappers are no longer hiring us; they're hiring big white bodyguards, and we're losing all kinds of business." And Charlemagne brought up a really good point. He goes, because in the hood, when you see another dude, like another black man that's big, you're ready to fight him. You're like, yo, anaka sinakano. You know what I mean? And but when you see an Adam person, it's like, authority. I don't wanna. If I punch him, yo, he might actually have lawyers. You know what I mean? Like he might be stabbed.
Then there's boundaries.
Then
right?
there's boundaries. So
Familiarity.
is that
contempt.
the same
That's
thing?
exactly
It's
what
like
it is.
Somali versus Somali. Like Kenan, anaka ko akano, shukul kada ana akano. Like we're gonna deal with this on a. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is that the
That's
same
exactly
thing?
what it is. Familiarity
That's purely
brings
national.
contempt.
It's not no, but that's all it is.
That's it. That's the nature of things, though.
It sucks.
Yeah. So
More
it is
comfortable
the same
people
thing.
you know.
It is what it is.
So can we say that they protested because of
Because familiarity. Yeah.
Okay.
Breeds
Here's the
contempt.
question: if he wasn't there, because he was there for a show, and they had the
Free concert, yeah.
a concert, they had the opportunity to protest. So if he never came to the city for that,
Yeah.
who would they have protested and would they have protested?
So if Catherine Bigelow was there alone,
There's no way in hell they would have showed up to protest.
no,
I don't believe so.
I don't believe him.
Maybe.
What's the other movie that you were showing us earlier?
So this kind of goes back to the second part of our segment, right? So let's move on to the second part of our segment. Now, okay. It goes back to our own medias. So first and foremost, I have a question for you, and anybody can pick it up. Do we have our own media? Do we have our own media outlets? I'll let you.
Yes and no.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Okay. Why would you say that?
They